Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Cigar Sundays. Now today I was supposed to have a very special guest on, but sadly it fell through. He became too busy with some work, so I decided I'm going to do my very first solo episode, and I'm just going to answer some of your questions from Instagram. First question is coming from Your Cigar Boss on Instagram. Favorite big cigar and why smoking cigars is an important social behavior. My favorite big cigar, I'm not very picky with cigars. I'm still very early on in my cigar career, let's say, but an absolute go-to, never fails, perfect entry-level cigar as well, is any Romeo Giulietta. Very smooth smoke every single time, great burn time. Whenever I'm about to introduce a friend of mine to cigar smoking, it's always a Romeo and Giulietta. As for why it's an important social behavior, I wouldn't say it's important, because of course you can socialize without smoking cigars, but I found that the element of sharing a pastime activity with another person is very primal in a sense. For example, when you sit down and share a meal with a friend, you feel a lot more connected to that person, and I find it's the exact same with cigars. And I'm not sure what it is, whether it's the nicotine or something else, but whenever I sit down to smoke a cigar with some friends, some like-minded friends as well, the conversations we have are just so inspiring and incredible every time. That's not to say that I never have inspiring and awesome conversations without cigars. It's just that every time I do go to sit down and smoke a cigar with a friend, we always have very insightful conversations about spirituality, about business, about how we navigate our relationships. We go deep, and smoking a cigar while talking about those types of things, very, very, very enjoyable experience. It's one of my favorite things to do, one of the highlights of my week. Obviously, I don't smoke these every single day, but when I do go to smoke one, I always really much so enjoy it. Next question, which I find really interesting actually, is why do you always train with people who MOG you? And if you don't know, MOG is like a sort of autistic internet term for someone who is outshining you, basically. So if I'm training with someone who's mogging me, they're probably like bigger, more muscular, more lean than me. And there's a very good reason why I do that, and that's because if I'm training with people who MOG me, who are bigger than me, stronger, I am becoming more and more like those guys. And this bleeds into every aspect of my life. I'm constantly trying to be the small fish in the big pond, because you'll find that a lot of people, they become the big fish in the small pond. Maybe they're the king of their Rocket League lobby. Maybe they're the king of their local pub, and they're very popular there and they feel very awesome there, but it's very hard to continue growing once you are the big fish, is what I've found. I've spent the majority of my journey of self-development being the small fish, even though it is incredibly uncomfortable for me sometimes. But that gets me a ridiculous amount of growth by hanging out with people who quote-unquote MOG me. So that's why I'm always training with people who are way bigger than me, way stronger. And if you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen this. I'm posting when I do my workouts with my friends, and yeah, they're usually looking a lot more aesthetic than me, but that's totally fine because I'm training right alongside them, which means I'm becoming more like them by just literally being in their vicinity and training with them. I wouldn't want to be me and be working out with a guy who's actually like weaker than me, smaller than me, whatever it may be, because I'm still quite early on in my fitness journey. And the people that I'm training with have been working out for like, 7 years, 8 years. And it is hard. It is hard sometimes being the small fish. You feel uncomfortable. You feel like you are inadequate sometimes. I get this the most when I'm in MMA gyms and I'm around people who could just beat the ever-living fuck out of me if they wanted to, because that's the most primal thing that we have as men, as humans. The idea that we fight, we have to fight. Being around guys who could beat the fuck out of you is a horrible feeling. But if you're able to push through that, what happens? You get better. And I suppose it applies to every other area of life. If you're hanging around with people who have loads more money than you might think, oh, I'm very uncomfortable. I wish I could live like that. But if you push through that, you're going to start to see growth there. You're going to start making more money. A question from Sam, I don't know his second name, Sam on Instagram. What qualities of yours do you attribute to your success business-wise? This is a really good question. I think my most important quality has been my emotional intelligence. Reason being is because when I started to work as a video editor, which is how I started, I needed to be able to watch a video that someone has created and immediately understand exactly what they were trying to achieve with it, who they're trying to reach, and to edit accordingly. And that is what has set me apart so insanely from the rest of the guys who are video editing, and they receive, a file on their PC and they see a task. They see a task like, okay, I'm going to do my copy-paste animations, my copy-paste presets, and then they're going to render the file, send it, and that's like task done. I saw it as a lot more of a creative pursuit. And even though it was unconventional, if it helped the purpose of reaching that target audience, I would do it every single time. And without emotional intelligence and the ability to make these decisions, I don't think I would be anywhere near the levels of success that I'm at now. Also, just emotional intelligence helps with all of your human interaction. I find that reading the book How to Win Friends and Influence People helps a lot of people, but I'm not sure how you can level up emotional intelligence. I think from what I've seen with patterns, people who have really been through some shit when they're younger seem to have better emotional intelligence in general than guys who were a bit more like sort of cruising early on in their life. And I did have a hard time growing up, so perhaps that led me to spending a lot more time in my head trying to make sense of why certain things were happening around me, which is therefore sort of translated into some emotional intelligence, because I'm starting to really critically analyze human interaction. And to be fair, I do enjoy that. I enjoy that a lot. Watching things like debates, just to see the human element at play. I find that stuff very interesting. So, what do you think is a solution to loneliness by The Green is Wrong? Well, making friends, obviously. But the solution to loneliness, I assume what you're saying is you're struggling to make friends. It's a bit of a brutal red pill to swallow, but you'll find once you get out of school and you leave that sort of tribal system that is in place, the kind of prison-like system where you hang out with people for the sake of not being alone because strength in numbers, you'll find that you don't align with anywhere near as many people as you might have thought. I see this time and time again, especially with guys who watch my YouTube channel, who are active in my Discord. Jesus Christ, Sam, I was, I had a few friends in school. I wasn't Mr. Popular or anything, but I've just left school and I have fucking no friends at all. Like, it turns out that the only reason I was hanging out with these people is just for the sake of it. I don't actually align spiritually with any of these people. We have completely different goals. They're completely different people. And it is a bit of a brutal red pill to swallow, because you might find that you need a period of isolation away from other people. And a lot of people, they're at this point in their life and they reach a crossroad. They can either be alone and cultivate their lifestyle in the way which aligns with them spiritually, or they can fold to societal pressure and align themselves with what is normal within society, which is typically, playing some video games. You'll align yourself with the video gamers, or you can align yourself with the drug takers and start going out to the club, going out to the raves. And then your problem of loneliness is solved. That's how you solve your loneliness short term. However, in the long term, in the long term, that will completely destroy your life. Which is not what we want. We are on a journey of self-development. This is a lifelong journey. And we're not going to trade in our entire life's purpose for, not being so alone right now. And that's not to say, that's also assuming these friends that you make in these circles of video games, drugs, whatever, are good friends. They're terrible friends as well. It's filling a void in your heart is what it is. And the more time you spend filling that void, the more time you're taking away from actually building something which is tangible and is fulfilling and makes you happy. It's not what we want, so we don't do that. So firstly, sacrifice that. You'll see all of your friends, everyone around you, folding to this societal pressure to fit in. Casual sex, drugs, video games, TV, whatever it may be. You'll see it all the time. People fold, because they're terrified of being alone. If you come to terms with the fact that, you know what, I have bigger dreams. I want to achieve X and Y. I don't want to go down the NPC life path and be a normal person who lives for the weekend, goes to the pub, gets a girlfriend eventually after she's, had her days of fun, let's say. And then she's so fucking broken that she leaves you and takes her kids and all of this garbage, which the average man is plagued with, these issues. You've got to sacrifice that life by sacrificing the need to fit in societal norms right now. You need to be alone. You need to learn how to be alone. You need to learn to be lonely. Because frankly, if you are different, which I hope you are, because that life path, to me, when I describe it, does not align to me at all. It sounds fucking terrible to me. And I hope you're listening to this and thinking, yeah, I agree, Sam, that does sound fucking terrible. I want better than that. Cool. So you need to do something outside of the norm, which means you might be alone. And that's totally fine. You might be alone for some time. I struggled very badly with loneliness for quite some time when I was figuring stuff out. Everyone was doubting me. I got bullied for doing YouTube at school. Anything that you do outside of the NPC life path norm will get you shit, or it will get you outcast. And that's totally fine, because I'm laughing now. I'm out here in Thailand smoking a cigar, and I have a sense of purpose higher than myself. I have a beautiful girlfriend. I do what I love every day. Imagine if I folded and yeah, I spent a lot less time alone, but I wouldn't be where I am now. That's my answer to you, my friend. There's nothing wrong with being alone. You gotta learn to love being alone sometimes, because the journey to the top can be a bit of a lonely one, especially when you're first starting out. Once you start getting some results, you can come out to a place like Thailand, which is inspiring, and you can meet a lot more inspiring people. But frankly, meeting people like that in a place like Birmingham, where I'm from, near enough impossible. Quick question here from Thomas. Do you mew? No, I don't. Well, I mean, I guess I do. Mewing is having your tongue in the correct, place in your mouth. And yes, I do that, but I don't do it consciously. I've just always had correct tongue posture, but I'm not consciously going out of my way to mew, if that makes sense. Sufyan Hussein says, thoughts on uni? I feel like I talk about uni a lot. My stance on uni is very clear. If you don't have a clear idea as to what you want to do with your future, and if that involves university, if you want to be a doctor or an engineer and you have to go to uni, completely fine. However, if you are like me and you're sort of floating down the river of life at this point, when you're 16, 17 and you're leaving school, you're going to college, uni is the biggest regret you could possibly make, in my opinion. You're going to put yourself under massive debt, which you're going to have to pay off for the rest of your life, which is going to be squeezing you and forcing you into work which you don't want to do. And you're also going to be surrounding yourself with constant drugs, partying, casual sex, degenerate hedonistic garbage. And at the end, you'll come out with a piece of paper which is supposed to tell you your self-worth, but then you don't land a job from it anyway, and you end up in a normal-ass job, you know, just living the average lifestyle. That's what I think of uni. I think uni is bad for most people unless you want to be a doctor or an engineer or whatever it may be. Do you train with intensity for legs, and what's worked for you in growing your legs? Yeah, so interestingly, I was speaking to a personal trainer friend of mine today, and we both agreed on something, and we both agreed on squats just don't do it for us. And I'll probably get a lot of shit for this, but I tried for so long to force myself to do squats, even though I hated it, and it wouldn't even give me the DOMs that I wanted. DOMs being like the sort of ache that you get after hitting a workout. It just wasn't fucking working for me, but you get a lot of pressure from these like fitness enthusiasts saying like, oh Sam, you've got to squat, don't be a pussy, Sam, squat, I don't do squat anymore. It wasn't working for me. I wasn't putting on heavier weights. I don't know what it is. Something to do with my build. It just doesn't fit me for some reason. So instead, I stopped, allowing other outside influences to influence what weights I do in the gym. I stopped doing squats, and I just open up my workouts with leg press now. And leg press hits beautifully for me. Like, I get out of the chair, leg press, and I'm basically wheelchair bound. And that's exactly what I want. I can put on heavy weights with leg press and absolutely fucking kill my legs on that. And that gives me excellent results in terms of legs. Also, I've been experimenting with hack squat recently with a resistance band. So the resistance band just helps you get out of because you fucking hack squats are evil, man. Like, oh my God. You go right into the depth, and it's quite hard to get out of that. So the resistance band just helps you get out of that depth a little bit. It gives you a little bit of springiness, which allows you to continue. That's good as well. It's fucking evil though. Hack squat is mean. Best way to meet like-minded people when first coming out to Thailand. I think a lot of people overcomplicate this because the idea of coming out to foreign land is very scary. And it's like, oh, well, you've already got a bunch of resistance doing it already because you're going to be coming into a brand new environment, new place, new systems, everything. So it's like, oh, well, if I go there with some friends, that'll make it easier. And then they overthink how to make friends, right? And it's actually very simple. You just fucking show up and you talk to people. That's it. Especially with a place like Koh Samui, where I live, like, just show up and pull up to the gym, which pretty much everyone goes to, which is Success Gym. Or just go to the co-working spots, which a lot of guys go to, and you'll meet people. And then once you've met someone and you've connected pretty well with them, then go out with them and they'll connect you with more people. And suddenly you're just integrated in the small, tight-knit community that we have out here, just like that. I think a lot of people overcomplicate it. You don't need to, buy any expensive networking courses or anything. Just pull up, say hi to people, be, have sharp social skills, be socially calibrated, be interesting, have some interesting things going on about you, like have a business, have some sense of value that you can offer to people when they talk to you, and that's all you need to worry about. What was the action that gave you 80% of the result? 80% of the result. Wow. Definitely my video editing career. And it blows my mind how people listen to me and see the journey that I've went on and still don't consider the idea that making money is actually a very important aspect to growing as a man. Whether you like it or not, whether you're a little bit like sort of anarcho-capitalist and you're like, yeah, capitalism sucks, man, doesn't help the small guys like me. I kind of get it, I get that, but at the same time, bro, this is the game. This is the game that we're playing. You are not in a position to change it, certainly, with no money. So just start fucking making some money, man, okay? You've got to play the fucking game, whether you like it or not. Making money through video editing changed my life 100%. It allowed me to infiltrate high-value networks of men who are making a lot of money, who are completely unplugged. I got to learn directly from them. I got to network with people they're networking with. I got to provide value to people, which completely altered my self-esteem. I made money, good money, which allowed me to give back to my parents. I can fly my girlfriend out here to this beautiful fucking tropical island of Thailand to live with me because I've done this work. 100% my video editing has made the biggest difference in my life for sure. John Parker asks, should I date in high school? Why not, man? I don't think really much of anything you do in high school matters aside from getting in the fucking gym. Because, man, I really wish I got started on the gym earlier. I see guys who have been training since, you know, the later years of their high school and they're so far ahead of the game in terms of fitness. Get in the gym. That is the main thing. Don't worry too much about dating. If you're getting attraction from women and you feel like you want to, you know, date, that's totally fine. No pressure. It's not that deep. In high school, it's not that deep at all. The types of relationships you're gonna have are gonna be like quite silly, and you'll learn a bit from them. You know, you'll learn a bit. Don't have any expectations, but why not? Why not date, man? Will you have a discount going on for your program? Yeah, I actually put one up today on my Instagram. I put out 3 discount codes for the academy. They're probably gone now though, so keep an eye on my Instagram. I want to move out to Thailand, but business is not yet profitable. Should I move now or later on? Here's what I would do. I'd have a very clear plan as to how you're going to make some money. I would begin executing that plan while living completely and utterly under my means in every sense of the matter. Lowest rent possible, lowest amount of food possible, very basic gym membership, whatever else you need, live below your means. Save up 10,000 in your bank account and then book your flight, come out here and fucking make shit work. And here's the thing, I see this very often with guys. They come out here with that 10K and they either fucking spunk it away because they're fucking having too much fun on holiday, right? They're having too much fun on holiday. They're fucking spending their money on bullshit, going out drinking. Oh, island hopping, let's go to this tourist attraction. And when they're doing that, they're not working on their business, which is what they're ultimately doing. So basically, they chose holiday over long-term lifestyle out here. I could go out right now and jump on a jet ski and fucking climb through the jungle, climb a waterfall, go see some shrine somewhere. And very few people my age from where I'm from can say that. Do you know what I mean? The thing is, I don't choose to do that every day because I choose to work so that I can continue to have that freedom of choice. You understand? I think a lot of guys that come out here with a 10K and they get overexcited and they forget why they're here, which is to work and to build a business, which I've seen often. And after 2 or 3 months, suddenly they're booking their flight home. And it's sad every time because maybe these are some people that I get along with, but I see what they're doing. They, you know, they're fucking new beach, new this and that every single fucking day on their Instagram stories. And I'm like, I'm kind of seeing it coming. Do you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck are you doing? You've got work to do, bro. That's what I'd say to you, man. Save up that 10K, get out here, and don't allow yourself to be on holiday because it's not a holiday. You're trying to make shit work. Boys, I think I'm going to wrap it up there because I'm leaving this quite late. Again, my initial guest sort of fell through. But I made a promise that I would do a Cigar Sundays every week now. And it's such a shame because I have so many interesting people to speak to. But I just couldn't get one for today. So, quick solo episode. I'll get this out to you boys and we'll speak to someone very interesting next week. I hope there was some value in this for you though, bro. And thank you so much for listening. Until next time.